I am a Bulldog. I am proud to be a Bulldog. We are a family that depend on each other. I really respect my school, my teammates, my coaches, and myself. This team is solid as I am, and I will do everything I can to keep it that way. This is our Bulldog creed that the athletes walk through the halls to learn and understand the maroon and white. Good evening. My name is Sandra Lyles Jackson, and I'm the banquet chair for this event. This is our 22nd induction ceremony and banquet. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, who is Coach Ray Green. He is also a member of the Hall of Fame. He's going to keep it moving, and I hope you enjoy it, because these are inductees that have paved the way for their athletic talents, abilities, and contribute to the student athlete program, and they have left a footprint at Alabama A&M University. Coach Green.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 22nd Annual Alabama A&M Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. One of the things that, in thinking about doing this, I'm very pleased that I was asked to do it again. These athletes that are being honored tonight, and I can say almost without any uncertainty that none of them, when they were playing, thought about being a member of a Hall of Fame. And one of the things that I always told our players is that, you know, if you work hard, if you learn, if you give 100%, that somebody is always watching, and good things will happen. I think the people that are being inducted this evening have demonstrated those things, and somebody has been watching. They've all achieved, not only athletically, but after they've left school, as individuals and communities around the country, and they exemplify the kinds of things that we as coaches hope to put forth to our athletes in terms of their lives after football. And now the moment that we should have been waiting for, if we haven't, is the entrance of the inductees and their escorts. First person to come in is Mr. Larry Addison. They say in the program that he's Mr. Excitement. We called him Jazzy when he was playing for us in football. He is escorted by his wife, Pamela Anderson. Caroline Nwaji Adeniji in track and field. She'll be escorted by her son, Emmanuel Adeniji. Our next inductee is I call him a young fellow. He's not so young anymore, but Curtis Harris. Having been to a lot of different places and coached, I think Curtis Harris was one of the finest line coaches that I've ever been around and are deserving. He's escorted by his wife, Cassandra Harris. This next gentleman is known as Buds by those who know him. Is Mr. Pastor Cornelius J. Hill Jr., basketball inductee. He's escorted by his wife, Mrs. Lana M. Hill. Our next inductee is Mr. Carlos Mathews in track and field. He is escorted by his young lady friend, Julia Cade. And if you watched soccer in the past years, in the great years of soccer, this young man won't be any stranger to you. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Nathaniel Odegaby. And he is escorted by his wife, Erica Odegaby. Our next inductee is a young woman who appeared on the cover of Jet magazine as one of the premier swimmers in the country. She's going to be escorted by Doc Wyckoff, but Kim Woodbury was an outstanding swimmer here at Alabama A&M. Let me introduce you to Kim Woodbury, escorted by her former swim coach, Mr. Doc Wyckoff. At this time, I'd like for Mr. Frankie Smith to come forward, please, who will sing the national anthem for us.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Tim McAvilly. Now, in your program, you can follow along the program. We'll try to do it exactly as it is in the program. There are a few exceptions, but we'll try to get through it.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. I'm here to present to you the occasion on why we're all gathered here today for the honorees, the inductees, their guests, their families. I would like to just say a couple of words about this gregarious occasion. One of the things is that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2013 induction ceremony for the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame. Make no mistake that this is the highest esteemed athletic honor that will be bestowed upon these former athletes that have always worn the maroon and white. They're Bulldogs for life. They didn't know they would get here, but I think they're well deserved. They've earned it, and they're sitting at the honors table today. A lot of us are familiar with awards. You know, in the music, the movies, and in the singing business, which I can't do like Frankie, you hear the Grammys, the Oscars, and the Emmys, but those usually last for a year. This honor that we're going to bestow on them will be an honor that they will wear from this day forward as we move and induct them into the Athletic Hall of Fame. And I feel humbled and honored to be on the program. And if you think I did okay, you can thank Coach Harris because he brought me here. If you think I didn't do okay and hurt the program, you can thank Ray Green because he kept me here and let me stay. What I'd like to do now is thank all of you all for helping this occasion become a success. We thank you for your efforts, your energies, your patience, and your financial support, because we know that's what it took for you to get here today. And I'd like to say thanks again on behalf of the Executive Board of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame, and look forward to you guys enjoying the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Now, in terms of what we're going to be doing next, there'll be remarks by Dr. Guinea, greetings by Mr. Brian Hicks, and then Reverend Isaiah Robinson will deliver the blessing before we have dinner. Dr. Guinea?
Good evening. Presiding Officer Green, to the members of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame, and particularly to the inductees for this evening, congratulations on a well-deserved recognition. It is always my delight and pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of Alabama A&M University. We're delighted to have with us this evening a member of our Board of Trustees, Trustee Robinson. We also have present with us Trustee Jeanette Jones. And so I bring you greetings on behalf of our faculty, our staff, our students, alumni, and also I bring greetings on behalf of the First Lady. I'm alone this evening. As I told someone when I walked in, she has left me for another man. And so you see that I'm here alone, and I'm not jealous at all. That man happens to be our 4-month-old grandson, so she's doing some grandmother duties. But this is a stellar event here at the university. It was mentioned in the opening remarks, and I thought about this, that as you were here on the Hill, you never thought about the fact that you perhaps would be at this point in time being inducted in such a prestigious group as the Athletic Hall of Fame. We have a capital campaign currently going on, and that capital campaign's theme is Imagine the Future. And as you attended Alabama A&M University, those who are graduates, you imagined that future. You're now living out that future. But I'm here to tell you that there are many, many young people here that need your help and need your support. And we are called to be bridge builders to help others imagine the same future that you have experienced. Were it not for Alabama A&M University, we should ask ourselves always, where would we be? So for the students of this university, I ask you to please provide the support that you can to ensure that future. One of the things, and I will be through, a lot of times we think about this as being a state-supported university. The budget of Alabama A&M University is $142 million. The state of Alabama only gives us $34 million of that $142 million. So you can see there is a tremendous gap that we call upon you to fill in. So again, welcome to Alabama A&M University. Let's imagine the future. Let's be bridge builders for all of those yet to come. Again, congratulations to the honorees.
You have to love my president, don't you? Dr. Guinea, thank you. You know, I'm Brian Hicks, Director of Athletics, and to the Hall of Fame class of 2013, congratulations to you. This is kind of like going full circle for me. This is my second Hall of Fame induction, and the first was wonderful, but this was kind of special for me. Coach Harris watched me play, chastised me growing up, and had the opportunity now to see him be elected into this Hall of Fame. But as some years went by, I had the opportunity to serve as the advisor to his son, Rashad Harris, at the University of Louisville. So I felt like I was too young. You know, when people say when you see your mentor's kids go, you're getting really old. So I'm not that old, but this has come full circle. But to the Hall of Fame class, to you, as the Director of Athletics, I am committed to ensure that you stay engaged, involved, and committed to the maroon and white. So we thank you. We look forward to continue to support you in all your endeavors, because you have been excellent in the classroom. You were excellent on the playing field, and you were excellent in the community. So we say thank you and congratulations to you.
Reverend, come up and say grace for us, please. Thank you.
Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for this occasion and for all of the things that you have done in each of our lives, what you're doing now, what you will do in the future. We gather tonight to reflect upon the talents you have given to each of the inductees, and that each have exhibit those skills and ability that tonight they are noteworthy. We ask you to continue to bless each one present. Help us, O Lord, to remember that it is each of our responsibility to use the divine gifts that you have given us. Teach us what it means to be real winners in your eyes. Real winners have learned to always do their best. Real winners have learned not to quit. Real winners have learned not to blame others. Real winners have respect for their friends, coaches, and themselves. Real winners have learned that God is the one who gave them their abilities. So as we gather tonight, we ask your blessing upon the inductees, Alabama A&M University, for giving us this Hall of Fame. We pray for the president and his staff and all of the administrators, the students, that they too may continue to utilize the gifts and abilities you've given. We ask our blessing tonight upon the food that's been prepared. May it be of nourishment to our bodies. And we thank you for the fellowship, that it may strengthen our relationship, not only with each other, but with thee. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Go through it. Larry Addison is a native of Montgomery, Alabama, where he started before he got here at Jeff Davis High School. He's also the youngest of 7. And when he came to A&M, he came here to play on the offensive side of the ball, and he was a flanker, wide receiver, split end, and we called him Jazzy Jazz and Mr. Excitement, because he was good at lighting it up. Along the way, he's earned a few awards. He's picked up Miller High Life Awards. He's scored a few touchdowns. If you don't know, that's still the touchdown signal. We still hadn't changed that one. And he's been also named as Player of the Week. Back then, we were in SIAC. He was a touchdown-making machine. He was a star on the team. He was also has grown in life and become, from what I'm told, he's a Hall of Fame father, a Hall of Fame husband, so a true Hall of Famer. And as he left Alabama A&M he left his mark on the football program here during the time he was drafted to play in the USFL. However, he chose to further his career out there in my hometown of Dallas, and played with the Dallas Cowboys. And I hate to say it, if you Cowboy fans, I call them the Dallas Little Boys. You know, ones can't win a playoff game, but Larry had an opportunity to go out there, represent Alabama A&M, represent Montgomery, Alabama, represent his family, had a nice tryout. Unfortunately, he had a career-ending knee injury. And ladies and gentlemen, the next member, newly addressed and presented his jacket, and we will now present him with his next award, Larry Cornelius Addison. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Caroline Adeniji. Carolyn, you'll be able to see a few of her highlights on the slide projector. But Caroline hails from Nigeria, where they run a little bit, play a little bit of soccer, and we've had a whole lot of success recruiting Bulldogs from her native land and apparently from her neighborhood. Carolyn is the first of 6 children. There were 4 girls and 2 boys. As it turns out, the girls were allowed to run, but none of them could catch Caroline. And the guys were allowed to play soccer because she tells me they couldn't catch her either. So when Caroline got here, she immediately made an impact on the track program. As you can see that she looked like she's winning with ease, and from what I understand, Coach said she won often, she ran hard, she practiced hard, and the opponent hated to see her come, so that meant she was always good news when she was in maroon and white and on the track. Caroline was a dedicated trainer, and to this day, she is still dedicated to her profession. She's been able to run pretty much around the world. She had a strong global career once she left here, and as she was telling me it was international, I said that was a term of the 80s. We use the global term now. So she's been around the world on 2 feet, so to say, and everywhere she's gone, she's left a heck of an impression. She's currently still coaching in Michigan and instructing those in Michigan on how to run. And so she can still get out there, as we say, get out there and get after it. Ladies and gentlemen, the next member of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2013, Caroline Adeniji. Thank you. At this point, I could probably stand here and say this guy needs no introduction, and I could probably be silent, and you could just probably feel what he's done for this university and what he's given. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Curtis Robert Harris as the next member to be inducted into the Alabama A&M University Class of 2013 Athletic Hall of Fame. While you guys browse over some of his brief contributions that were documented, I will share some things that the Big Bruiser has done in his career. Kurt is from, and you know, I'm old enough to call him Kurt now. Kurt is from Daphne, Alabama, where he's the 5th of 15. And being the 2nd of 11, I know I can understand his story, where he wasn't supposed to be here, but once he got here, he couldn't leave, couldn't get away, and he made his impression quick. And I think the story goes that when Coach Cruz had him for a couple of hours, he don't know, like I say, he don't know how he missed him, but he just know he had a stellar career, several all-conferences, several awards earned as a player, and that's just a fraction of what he did also as a coach. He spent about, I don't know, a whole bunch of years up here, about 30-ish probably. As Coach Green said, one of the best offensive linemen to ever walk through the door, best offensive line coaches, which usually players don't make good coaches, but Kurt was a Hall of Fame coach, a Hall of Fame player. From what I understand, he was a Hall of Fame recruiter, and I think he did a good job recruiting Cassandra, who's also his wife and class of 73 graduate from here at Alabama A&M on Normals Hill. He's has a lot of his family members here, and I just got to meet his his son, and I told him, yeah, he was the problem. So there's some of the guys out there in the audience that do not understand that we were really hoping and praying every day in the fall of '79 that this kid would show up. And this kid would show up, and I just got to meet Harris. Thank you. I would like to present Cornelius J. Hill, Jr. as the next member of the Alabama A&M Class of 2013 Athletic Hall of Fame. From what I understand, Cornelius is a native of Indiana, where he's a proud graduate of Southside High in Fort Wayne, where from what they say, he still has one of the quickest first steps in basketball that has ever come through the pride of Southside High. And from what I understand, he can still shoot it up a little bit. But back in the day, he had one of the quickest steps to the hoop, and that may be a little fuzzy because it's not that the film is blurry, he was just that fast. You know, and if you look hard, you could probably see the football team cheering for him in the bleachers. But he was a heck of a, back in the day before they had highlight reels, he was a human highlight reel. And as I'm told, he can still shoot it up. Where's the basketball coach? I saw him in here. He can still shoot it up. So if you need somebody from three-point and take to the hole, see Cornelius before he leaves. From 77 to 79, he was the guy that everybody looked for. Back then they called him Buttons. I'm still trying to figure that button thing out because you know, I know he could shoot threes, he could take it to the hole, but we still call him Buttons around here. And I was so glad and so honored that we were able to see him going into the Hall of Fame this year. It's an honor that is so well deserved, and his family is to be proud. And he probably realizes that there's not too many basketball players in here, so that is also a honor within itself that he can still be recognized for what he did in the sport of basketball. And we're proud to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, the next member of the Alabama A&M Athletic Hall of Fame, induction class of 2013, Cornelius J. Hill, Jr. Thank you. Carlos Mathews will become the next member of the induction class of 2013 for the Alabama A&M Athletic Hall of Fame. If I was guessing, I would think he may have had the shortest trip to the Hall of Fame, but it probably was not the easiest trip to get here. Carlos is a native of Huntsville, Alabama, where he graduated from Huntsville High School, where he proudly represents Madison County. So he came across town to run track for the esteemed coach, Joe Henderson. And from what I understand, when he was here, he left his mark on the track and in the dirt, being that he was a excellent field and runner. Just to review a few of his highlights, where it appears that he made it look pretty simple, winning with ease, where there was no track that was not his friend. And as you can see, he believed in putting on the glasses and taking home the hardware. And not only that, as a track guy, it's an individual sport, but it's still a team sport. So he, from what I understand, he racked up the points as an individually, as becoming a multiple national champion, as well as helping the team continue to maintain the tradition as one of the strongest track and field programs in North Alabama and at the Division II level in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present the next member and newest member of the class of 2013, Carlos Mathews. Nathaniel A. Ogadegbe. Nathaniel A. Ogadegbe, we welcome as the next member of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame induction class of 2013. Nathaniel hails from Nigeria, another fine product that we were able to have success in Nigeria. He currently lives in Leesburg, Virginia, so we appreciate him for traveling to be honored on this occasion. He's, as he was here at Alabama A&M, he came at a time where Coach Yusuf was beginning to build a dynasty, and people like Nathaniel were passed the torch and didn't let us down. Nathaniel was pretty much a world-renowned soccer player. Dr. Yusuf, when he saw talent, he took talent, he developed talent, and he got results with talent, and those results were won no better than Nathaniel A. Ogadegbe. He continues to pass his soccer interest to his kids. He has a son that's got to play tomorrow in his first Division I soccer game, so we won't see him tomorrow at the field, but we're glad he came in and realized that this was a very humbling honor, and him and his wife were able to be here tonight. Although he wore number 7 on the field, and I remember he was kind of getting here when we were going out the door, but not only was he had number 7 on his chest, but he also was about the number 1 player during his era here, not only in Huntsville, but in the country. That was back in the day when soccer was real new, and the Alabama A&M soccer team would go beat people like Duke. Is that right, Nathaniel? If that's right, shake your head. They would go beat people like the University of Southern California. Is that right, Nathaniel? Shake your head. They would go beat people like Clemson. Is that right, Nathaniel? Shake your head. They would go beat the still current powerhouse. And I really believe that if it had not been for Alabama A&M's soccer program, the University of Evansville in Indiana probably would not have a program today. They really got upset. They went and they beat the University of Indiana in Evansville. Is that right, Nathaniel? If you're right, shake your head. Now, the other thing that they did, and now they say United States soccer is catching on, is catching on, is catching on. Guys, soccer has been here, it's been strong at Alabama A&M since 1976, okay? Nathaniel Ogadegbe is one of the reasons why the program was as strong as it was, and we really, really do appreciate the hours that Dr. Yusuf put in developing this soccer program, and we're so proud to present Nathaniel A. Ogadegbe as the next member of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2013. Nathaniel, please come forward. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know what they say, they save the best for next. Kim Woodbury. Kim Woodbury is a native of Chicago, Illinois, where she matriculated at Morgan Park High School. And from athletics, she excelled quite a bit. And from, I understand, in swimming. Let's get Kim up here. There we go. I'll let you read a little bit about Kim while I talk about her a little bit. Kim was pretty much all everything in the water in high school. And one of the things about Alabama A&M back in the day is, there wasn't a whole lot of money in the recruiting budget. So we depended on relationships. Just like Cornelius, somebody knew somebody and told the coach when Cornelius was in Colorado that he was good. Kim was in Chicago swimming, and I know we didn't have a budget where Doc Wyckoff would go to Chicago and recruit swimmers. So somebody had to tell Doc about somebody that could go fast in the water, and he was like, hey, Tim. No, it's Kim, Doc. It's Kim. It's a girl. So anyway, make a long story short, Kim had earned quite a few awards in high school. And so when she came to Alabama A&M and joined the swimming Sea Dogs, she continued her winning ways, where she became one of the most feared and winningest female swimmers. She was highlighted in Jet magazine. She earned All-American honors. She medaled at just about every meet that she swam in, and if you wonder which one is Kim, it's the second one to from the right to left. And I remember that back in the day, Doc, if the hair didn't fit under the cap, they had to cut it. So I see things have changed now, but Kim was, some of the things she excelled in: breaststroke, freestyle, 200-yard backstroke. In other words, from what I understand, she swam quite a few events. She won quite a few events. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I guess they said we couldn't swim, but I guess Kim proved us wrong. We would like to congratulate Kim Woodbury as the next member of the class of 2013 to be inducted into the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for the class of 2013, Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you. Larry Cornelius Addison, Carolyn Adeniji, Curtis Robert Harris, Cornelius J. Hill Jr., Carlos Mathews, Nathaniel Ogadigby, and Kim Woodbury. Thank you.
Will the class of 2013 please stand?
I, Brian Hicks, Director of Athletics, Alabama A&M University, the greatest institution of higher learning in the world.
And I, Sandra Laus Jackson, Selection Chairperson of the more than 200 member of Alabama A&M Athletic Hall of Fame,
do hereby proclaim the
Class of 2013 as full members of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame with all of the honors and distinctions pertaining thereto.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome the newest members of the Alabama A&M Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you. We have now a presentation from the City of Huntsville. Mr. Will Culver, one of our councilmen, will make the presentation.
Thank you, Coach Green. I would like to begin by saying good evening to everyone. Good evening. Again, my name is Will Culver, your council representative in Huntsville here in District 5. I can't begin to tell all of you how special this is for me to be able to present these resolutions on behalf of the mayor and the city council for the city of Huntsville. Now, you all may not know this about me. I don't know how you all elected me to represent you because nobody knew my real name while I was in college. My name in college was Abbeville. All of these athletes that you see here and the coaches, I worked for them. I was the trainer, the water boy for the football team, the swim team, and Tim McAnally here, I taped his ankles along with the ankles of everybody else. I've worked for Coach Green, Coach Sherrard, and Coach Harris, all of the coaches here at Alabama A&M University. So I said all of that to say to you how truly special this is for me. I will be very brief. I do want to read just a couple of lines. Whereas the City Council and the Mayor of the City of Huntsville, Alabama, are apprised that the Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University Athletic Hall of Fame will hold its 22nd induction ceremony and banquet on September the 6th, 2013 at the Ernest Knight Reception Center on Alabama A&M University campus at 7 p.m. And whereas, I'm not going to read all of this, the whereases has all of our inductees' names with all of the things that they have done. So if I can fast forward to the bottom, now therefore be it resolved that the City Council and the Mayor of the City of Huntsville, Alabama, gratefully acknowledge and congratulate the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2013 inductees and extend best wishes for continued success and health. Signed by Mayor Tommy Battle, President Mark Russell, President Pro Tem Dr. Richard Shower Sr., Councilmember Bill Clean, Councilmember John Olszewski, and yours truly, Will Culver. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. You know, I'm going to get to the acknowledgement and recognition of special guests, but let me just say this. Having been here when a lot of these people were in school, and you know, a lot of times when you look at it as a fan, you get up in the stands and you criticize or you enjoy the game or whatever. I was never more proud than to be here when our girls on the swim team were on the cover of Jet magazine. And Doc Wyckoff sitting back there, who was here inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, when you talk about the trials and tribulations of going out recruiting against people that wanted, we had some major league swimmers. We had the only black women that qualified for the NCAA championships. That's a great job. The other thing, and you know, the other thing is that we were a close coaching staff. I used soccer players. I asked Coach Youssef, I said, we need a kicker. And he only had to come out there a couple days a week, and we got kickers on the soccer team. But, you know, we were playing major colleges, people that spend literally hundreds of thousands of dollars recruiting kids from all over the nation. We were playing and winning national championships in soccer because Saleh Youssef was able to get together a group of guys that loved the game and that could play. And you know, a lot of times we don't know how good these people were when they were playing. I mean, they were really good. You know, I mean, football was good, but the soccer team and swim team were national good. They competed nationally. So I just want to say appreciate what you guys did, and I want you all to appreciate the effort and the kinds of talent that was present during those times. Now, for special presentations, Mr. Tim McAnally is going to come back to the podium for his job in handing out some special presentations.
Thanks, Ray. I'm old enough to call him Ray now. I wonder how old you had to be, you know, this kind of thing. I'm kind of, you know, at that time where you have to put on reading glasses, so, you know, I guess I'm at least that age. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that we've had a wonderful time. I think this is a first-class event. If you agree, please clap your hands. I think this was a wonderful event, and I think it's a first-class event. If you agree, please clap a little bit louder. I think this is a first-class event. I think you've had a wonderful time. And at this time, I would like to honor some special recipients that have put in tireless hours making this happen. Thought I was going to actually clap your hands again, didn't I? Tell you. But anyway, to be serious, ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to do is highlight a person that we call on quite often, we call on anytime, and has really a strong pillar / foundation that we've grown to depend on for all things Athletic Hall of Fame, a lot of all things university. A lot of times you don't know who's generating the communication, who's sending emails, who's helping with the program, who's helping checking the mailbox, who's making sure that your nomination package gets picked up, who's making sure that checks coming in, checks going out, who stays up late at night, who can we call anytime. Well, one of those people I'd like to present an award on behalf of the entire Hall of Fame and all of us that are here tonight, and I'll read it briefly. Alabama A&M University, the 2013 AAMU Athletic Hall of Fame Special Award. This award is presented with infinite appreciation and gratitude for your years of service and support to the AAMU Athletic Hall of Fame. The impacts of your work and contributions have had and will continue to have a significant impact on this organization. On behalf of all the members of the AAMU Athletic Hall of Fame and the Executive Board, we would like to say thank you, and thank you, and please join me in giving a warm round of applause for Mr. Jerome St. Jones. Warmer. Without further ado, I would like to read this award. Alabama A&M University, the AAMU Athletic Hall of Fame proudly and most honorably present to Sandra Lyles Jackson this award with great appreciation and the utmost gratitude for your relentless dedication and once again exceeding all expectations as the banquet chairperson for the 2013 induction class of AAMU Athletic Hall of Fame, presented by the Executive Board of the Alabama A&M University Athletic Hall of Fame. Please give a warm, resounding applause for Sandra Lyles Jackson.
As we wind down, let me make a couple of announcements. First of all, after we sing the Alabama A&M hymn, we're asking all Hall of Fame members to stay for pictures. All Hall of Fame members, not only the inductees. But at this time, I'd like all the Hall of Fame members to please stand in the audience. All those who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you. And I know we don't consider him special. I see Joe Henderson, Bronsky, I didn't see Bronsky back there, but Joe Henderson, the track coach of these young folks, one of these young people that got the award, outstanding coach. And there's several other people I could mention, but we've been very fortunate to have some outstanding coaches. People I've learned from as a coach when I was here, people that are nationally known and have done a great job working for this university. The Alabama Athletic Hall of Fame is working on a lot of things. I'm talking to Tim tonight and some other people, trying to find a place where we can put stuff. You know, there's, and I say put stuff, a building where all this memorabilia and things that have been gathered and awards that have been gathered, that we can have it in a place where people come on campus, they can go in and take a look at it and see who's in the Hall of Fame and who did what. We have lost a lot of important athletic information in Alabama A&M, and one of the objectives of the Society of Athletes who belong to this group, one of the objectives is to get a place where we can store things. They've asked me to start the university hymn. Is Frankie still here?